Alright, this is gonna be fun. It's finally time for Patchouli herself. Which means I can be cheap. Or cheaper than usual. Man, it does seem like the buttons weren't doing anything. Oh great, she wants to be cheap too. It'd be kind of funny if your actual attacks could affect the weather too, or affected by them. Sort of like how in some games, if it's raining, your water attacks are stronger and your fire attacks are weaker. Not that you ever notice in a lot of cases. I mean, honestly, unless the effect is blatant, I tend to ignore it in a game. Which, mind you, can sometimes get you killed. A book as a weapon. Is there anything that hasn't been a weapon yet in a game? Next thing you'll tell me, some people use swords. Wait, never mind. I still have no idea what the point of that bubble power-up is, hence I'm not gonna bother using it. But I'll use this. Because it's fun to watch this rain. Whatever the heck that stuff is. Probably shouldn't ask too many questions. I could in theory win without using any of the cards, especially if I put on normal mode, but to be honest... Hold on a second. Maybe the rain's just jealous. Yeah, but rain can just happen to be annoying sometimes, especially when it has thunder. I like the element water, but I've never been a fan of thunder. But getting back to the thing about cards or using abilities, I'm not really a fan of not using abilities, those main no ability only ones in games, because honestly speaking, as impressive it is to beat a game just by smacking people with your stick or punching them, or in this case hitting them with your book, they actually get kind of boring after a while. Plus, a lot of characters are more about their abilities than their normal attack anyway. So when you do a no ability one, you're basically making so only the character with a strong normal attack really matters. I mean, sure, that one that can only do 10 points of damage can still win, but you might as well do the 100-point damage person. Besides, it makes battles more interesting when you actually use the various abilities you have. Although, I do understand if ability is so powerful it can destroy everything in 10 seconds, you might not want to use it, but not every ability in the game is that powerful. Of course, in the case of some games, it's more about the enemies being as weak as possible, where even breathing next to them will kill them. Come to think of it, there's probably a character in a video game so weak that when you get in contact with them, they're the ones who take contact damage instead of you. Of course, I talk about the idea of variety, yet I'm spamming the same moves too much. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely possible. Man, I thought it was a generic quote. So no rain. Closest I can get to reading the weather. I go outside, I feel a raindrop on me. I assume it's gonna rain. I'm brilliant. But that's pretty much it. Or when you live in a state like Virginia, you assume it will thunder and rain a lot during certain seasons because it tends to. Heck, a lot of predictions basically boil down to assuming that history will repeat itself, and other predictions rely on events being so far in the future that by the time you're proven one, it doesn't matter. But maybe that's why the doomsday predictions were set for 2012. It gave people time to wait until they were proven wrong about it. So the next set of predictions should be for 3050 AD. That way we have time to be proven wrong again. Man, if the world's gonna end, no one's gonna know about it because we'll all be dead. And we'll probably be killed by Alice's dolls. Why am I worried about spraying haze with a character I usually use projectiles anyway? Fine. I'm not gonna ask how that worked. I find it funny when they bounce in the air like that repeatedly, or how they defend so often. And we'll continue this later, so bye for now.